Good afternoon, Stampers. It's Debbie with Stamp It with Debbie, and it's Wednesday, and that means it's time for Facebook Live. And this week I'm going to show you 3 projects using the Daisy Lane stamp set and coordinating punch. Now you might remember us having another punch in the catalog that looks very similar, and I'm going to show that to you. If you just give me a minute to go ahead and get set up here on my iPad so we can get the live feed going here. Just leave me a comment or click on one of the emojis to let me know you're here. All right, looks like we have a couple people, but I can't see any of the comments. I don't know why I can't see the comments sometimes. And sometimes I can. All right, well, as usual, I will not spend time getting to the comments now, but rest assured, when the demonstration isn't over, I will definitely go back and answer any questions that you might have or respond to any comments. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, this week I'm featuring the Daisy Lane stamp set and the coordinating Daisy punch. As I said, in our previous catalog we did have another stamp set, and it is still current. It's called Daisy Delight, and there's a bigger coordinating punch, and I'm actually going to do something with this punch today to show you how to create a flower. So we will be using that, but only the Daisy Lane stamp set, not the other stamp set. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me start by showing you the projects that we're going to make, and this is the first one, and this is a flower that I used, and this is where we're going to be using the bigger daisy punch. And this is one of our pillow boxes, and then we have this card, and then we have a fancy fold this week. It's an easel card, so it's kind of hard to show you, but this card stands up all by itself. And for mailing, you can go ahead and close it up, and then when someone gets it, they can stand it up so they can look at it on their desk or dresser or whatever, wherever they want to. So these are the projects, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set these other ones aside really quickly. We might as well go ahead and start with this one. So what we're going to need for this one is a piece of crumb cake. And this one was cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You will need a piece of espresso, early espresso, and that's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. I am using this paper, and let me show it to you real quickly. It is called the Pressed Petals Specialty Designer paper. And I'm going to just take it out of the package real quick here so I can show it to you. It's beautiful. I'm using the back sides, but they're images of real flowers. So this is the back side, so it kind of looks like some newsprint. You do get extra pieces in here. I can't remember the actual count, but it's more than usual, and you get, I believe, 4 of each design. So there's the wood we're going to be using today. You get this piece. Oops, I forgot to say on the back is some sheet music. And then this piece, you could cut those out and just stick them on as card fronts. And then this piece here, we're also going to be using this, and this is just some greenery. And this piece here is some burlap and some blue flowers. And over here is some more print and some more flowers. And then some script. So it's a nice, really nice paper pack. The paper is a little bit thinner than regular designer paper. So you wouldn't want to actually make a card, you'd be doing some layering with it. So again, I don't know if I said this piece here is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. The other thing you need is a scrap of Daffodil Delight, because we're going to need that for these flowers. A little scrap of Pear Pizzazz, that's what I used for these leaves here. A little scrap of Early Espresso, that's for the inside. And then this piece here is cut at 3/4 inch by 2.5, and that's for our greeting. The only other thing we're going to need is a little piece of linen thread. So I think the first thing that we should do is go ahead and get our daffodil ink. Now you don't have to, I did stamp these flowers, but if you wanted to keep the card real quick and easy, and actually, let me just do that. If you wanted to keep it a little more simple, and I'll show you the difference and you're probably not going to see, you can just punch the flowers out and you don't even have to stamp them. Now I need 6 of them because I have 3 flowers and I did double them up. And wouldn't that be cute to use as a little piece on the front of a card or a scrapbooking page? Okay, so I have those 6 pieces. And you do want a bone folder for this. And you do want to grab it by the center and very carefully kind of, you're just kind of breaking the fibers in the paper so that the petals go up. Now you don't want to do it too hard because I have ripped a petal or 2 off before. So just kind of go around and bring them all out here. And again, like I said, you could stamp them. You'll see on the purple card that we're making, it's probably a little more important to stamp the darker colors, but you're still going to get the same beautiful effect whether you stamp it or you don't stamp it. Now again, this is called the medium daisy punch. I am going to use my 1/2 inch punch and just punch a center out for each of the cards. And then I'm going to use my, I can't remember the name of this. I think it's just called leaf punch. If it's not, that's what we're going for today. Leaf punch. We're just going to cut 3 of those out, punch 3 of those out. How's everyone doing today? I forgot to ask you that. I hope that your day is going well. My day is going well. I'm getting to spend a little bit of time with my granddaughter today and my daughter. She's here working and I'm helping to take care of the baby, so she's taking a nap right now. I hope your day is going well too. It's pretty hot and humid here today, but at least it's not pouring rain like it was yesterday. All right, so I have 6 of the yellow flowers. I'm going to use the Tombow multi-purpose adhesive. And as I've mentioned before, mine is in a different bottle. I just dumped mine out because it's got a really fine point on this, and that's how I like to work with mine. So when I put a little adhesive here, you're going to bring them together, but you don't want them directly on top of each other. So you want the petals kind of staggering where the petals were in the other, on the other one. And the glue gives you a little time to make that happen. Okay, so we're going to do the second one and just hold it there for a minute to make sure that the glue sets, and then the last one, and then the only other thing we have to do to the flowers is add that little brown piece. And I thought that these kind of looked like, out in my yard I have some flowers and they're called brown-eyed Susans. I thought that these looked like those because they get big yellow flowers and they have the brown in the middle and they're so beautiful. All right, I'm going to set those aside because now we have all of the flowers together. We need to assemble our card. We also need to stamp our friend on here, and I'm going to stamp that in Early Espresso. And I did stamp it to the right because I want to be able to do my little banner cut. Let me bring this over. Do my banner cut here to the left. And I know you probably have seen it before, but I just want to show you again. Just cut right up in the center and then cut in and cut in. And there's your banner. I kind of got off the ground running here, and I forgot to say, if you have watched my videos before, I'll just talk while I'm putting this together. I would like to thank you for coming back today. I always appreciate you coming back and watching my videos. And if you're new to my video, thank you so much for stopping by. If you happen to be watching me through YouTube, I appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button directly below the video so that you never miss a video. And if you're watching through Facebook, I would appreciate if you'd send me some love. I have explained that before, but hopefully you'll send me some love. That's how Facebook knows that people are watching, and they'll continue to send my video for people to see it. Otherwise, they won't continue to show my video for some reason. They only do it if people show love, like if they're watching it. So I would appreciate that so much if you would share and click the like button. All right, I did go ahead and attach the early espresso, and now I'm going to do the designer paper right on top of that. I'm going to center it right up. And then I can go ahead and put my friend greeting on there because I don't have anything else that will get in the way of that. So I'm going to line it right up here on this right side. And now I'm going to kind of just position my flowers before I put them on to make sure that I like what they look like. And then how I did mine, because you kind of have to position the leaf and the flower at the same time. So I put a little glue right here on the edge of the stem, and then I put it on the back of the flower. And because the glue is still wet, when I put it down, I'm also going to be able to put the petal in, or I'm sorry, the leaf in at the same exact time. And I just want to hold it down there for a minute to make sure that it's really stuck. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other two flowers. Again, just kind of position it along with the leaf at the same time. Hold it down so that they both are drying at the same time. And then I'm going to do the same for this one. Whoop, I almost did the wrong side. Now, if you did just go ahead and put the flowers down, you would just have a little bit of hard time tucking the leaf behind it. But if you accidentally did that, just cut part of the stem of the leaf off, and then you can tuck it behind. So no worries if you accidentally glue them down before you meant to. That's no worries at all. It's just that it'll be a little bit too long, but like I said, just snip the edge of the leaf off there. The last thing we want to do is just add a little bit of linen thread to the edge, and we're going to tie a bow. And I don't know if I've shown you this before, but this is the old, they send it in a spool now, but I have some of the old linen thread, and if it gets that kink in it, just take your bone folder and kind of run it through there on your finger, and it'll take the kink out of it. All right, so now we're just going to wrap this around, and I'm going to go around twice, and I want to make sure and get behind that leaf there. And then I'm going to tie a little bow here. All right, I'm just going to cut off a little bit so it doesn't quite hang over so much, and then just position it so it's in a little better position here. And so there is our first card. What do you think? You like that one? You like daisies or brown-eyed Susans? Okay, so while I'm getting the items for the next project, I just want to remind you that if you place an order through my online store, which is at stampitwithdebbie.stampinup.net, if you place an order of $30, and it doesn't have to be for the items that we're using today, it can be for any of your favorite items. It can be adhesives if you might need those, inks, paper, stamps, punches, whatever you want. For $30 or more, I will send you the make and take kits for today's projects for free. So you're going to get a little surprise in the mail. And all you need to do is go to my online store, and you do need to use this hostess code. in order to qualify. So that lets me know that you placed an order, and I'll get a notification. So let me grab the products for the next project here. Okay, the next one we're going to do is this, and this is from the craft pillow boxes from the annual catalog. There are 10 in a box or in a package. They're already scored and hooked together, so all you need to do is kind of bend it here on the score lines. And you do want to leave this little tab on the top, so when someone goes to get it, they have something to open it up by. Now these are great for just a small little gift. You could put some candy treats in there. A gift card will fit in there. Jewelry, anything small. Now we do have a little bit of stamping and punching because, again, this one is using the large daisy and the small daisy. So we need to do a little bit of stamping here. I'm using Grapefruit Grove, and I'm going to stamp two of those, and then I'm going to stamp two of the smaller ones, because how our layer works is we have two that are stamped, two that are not stamped, two large ones that are stamped, and two large ones that are not stamped. So, all right, that's it for the stamping. And then we just need to punch these out, and we'll need a couple other ones punched out too. Let me get my punches. And while I'm punching, I just want to talk to you about, right now, Stampin' Up! Is having a joining special. And if you've never been a demonstrator, you probably think, oh my gosh, I don't want to do videos. I don't want to sell to people. That's not what I like to do. And you don't have to. You can make your demonstratorship whatever you want it to be. So if you want to have parties, if you want to make videos, if you want to stamp with your friends and just get a 20% discount, that is totally up to you. And lots of people just do it to get their 20% discount. And if you were to sign up right now, you would be good all the way through the end of the year, which means you're going to get early ordering from the Christmas catalog, and you're going to get 20% off all of your favorite items from the Christmas catalog or the holiday catalog that's coming up. So the special is, while I keep punching here, if you sign up, the kit is normally $99 and you get $125 worth of product. Now they do give you free shipping. You do pay sales tax. But during the special right now, they're going to give you $155 for $99. And then your next order in August, they're also going to give you a coupon to spend on your first order. So what a great deal is that? Right now, if you sign up, you get to pick $155 worth of product for $99 plus tax. They're going to give you free shipping, which is another $15 in free that you wouldn't have gotten if you didn't sign up. And I have a team called the Glitter Brigade, and I would love for you to be a part of that. Now I'm just doing the same exact thing that I did before, just bringing all the petals in as I'm talking here. Again, you don't want to do it too hard because you'll pull the petals off your flowers. But we do have an on stage here in Lansing, Michigan in November, and that would be fun if we could all go together. And again, like I said, if you only want to sign up just to get your discount, your 20% discount, you can. And the best part is eventually you would be able to earn 25% or more off of your orders, depending on what your sales are every month. So if you're interested, go ahead and email me at stampitwithdebbie.gmail.com. I'm sorry, stampitwithdebbie@gmail.com. Or you can just leave me a comment below and tell me you're interested, and I'll be in touch with you. I would love to have you on my team. We're a small team, but we're growing, and we're fabulous. We're sparkly. We love sparkly. Okay, now that I have all these done, I'm going to go ahead and glue them together just like I did before. So I'm going to start with the one that's stamped here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on there. And then, just as I said before, kind of stagger it between the, petals of the other one. Okay. And then hold it together just to make sure that it's glued. Now you want to take the other large one that's not stamped and place that right down. And I did discover the second layer of the not stamped one does need to be a little more curled in. I think it just gives a little more wow effect. Okay, this would be my third flower that I'm putting on here, and this again is the large daisy, and it is not stamped, it's just punched out. Whoops, now I put that on upside down. Let's see if I can do this. Sure I can, but am I going to get all glued up? Okay, now my glue's ready. Now the next layer is I'm going to do, the small one that is stamped. I'm sorry, the small one that is not stamped. I changed it up a little bit on mine, the order, just so that you could see the stamped part here. And so that unstamped one is going to go there. Let's try this to see if it has a different look. Let's vary it and go stamped, not stamped. And so we have two more. Looks like I punched out a few extra. And then this one is the not stamped. And then one more, which is the stamped. Okay, so it's a lot of layers, and you can kind of bend them to whatever seems like is fitting for you to kind of pull the layers of the flower up a little bit, so that even though we did use our bone folder to kind of bring them forward, this just kind of fluffs it up a little bit, so some more in the center are standing up and the ones on the outside might be a little more laying down. Isn't it beautiful? Now the last thing that I did is I took one of these clear faceted gems. They say clear, but they're kind of silvery to me. And I used my Light Lovely lipstick Stampin' Blends marker. And I'm just going to color over that. You could color it any color. I just liked the look of the pink with the Grapefruit Grove. Then I'm going to use my piercing tool and put that right in the center. And I'm going to bring this up so you can hopefully see how beautiful it is. Hopefully I'm in the center here. Isn't that so pretty? Stampin' Up! Actually did a display in the catalog, and there are several flowers together, and I'm probably going to do a display like that, but I wanted to keep it, that would take a really long time on video to show you how to make that many flowers, so I wanted to keep it a little more simple. So now we're going to put this on here, but we need to stamp our little greeting here. And this is just a 1/2 inch by, I forgot to measure, by 3.5 inches. It might be a little long. Let's go ahead and stamp that. And I used It's Your Time to Shine. And you could do friend, you could do happy birthday on there. I'm just using the Early Espresso ink. And I want to leave, let me get up here in camera. You want to leave a little bit of space here so that it can tuck in behind the flower. So I'm just going to kind of, oops, that's what the back is for. There we go. And now again, on this end, I'm going to cut a little bit off. I think that's a little bit long. So I'm just going to cut a banner. So cut right up in the middle. And there's my banner. If I need to, I can cut a little bit off of there, but it's better to have it a little too long to start with than have it be short and not be able to see your words. So I'm going to use that same leaf punch. And I'm going to punch a couple leaves. And then I'm just going to kind of make this right in the center. But again, you have to be careful when you're putting the leaves on, because you want to be able to tuck them up underneath the flower. So I am going to take a little bit of the liquid adhesive, put it right there. You could also put it on with a dimensional if you wanted to. I'm going to lightly put that on. Now I need to be able to put this piece on before that dries. So I'm going to put some adhesive on there. I'm going to tuck it up in there. And I'm just going to make sure that my flowers are turned such that I'll be able to read it. And then just go ahead and hold that down and hold the flowers down. So now I may need to cut the tip off of the, nope, I think I'll be good. Put a little adhesive on there. Go in and hold that one down. So there it is. A little box to put some treats in, and it would be beautiful in so many different colors. I just thought the Grapefruit Grove looked really pretty with the craft card on the pillow box, but probably Rich Razzleberry would look really good, and some of the blues and yellows all would look really pretty with it. So I can't wait to give this to somebody and surprise them. All right. While we're waiting, there's the host code again for you to see, just in case you missed it the first time. And I'm grabbing my other supplies here. And again, this time we're making an easel card. I wanted to give you something a little bit different today. So hopefully you can see this is how it would mail. And when they open it up, this piece right here is raised, so that's what holds this on. And then I am putting a little piece in here so that you can sign it. And then it just stands up like this again. But for purposes of you being able to see it, I'm going to set it off to the side while we do our card here. So when you do an easel card, it's the same exact size paper. I have to get my scoreboard here, as a regular hot dog fold card. It's 4 1/4 by 11. And you're going to score it right in the center, which is at 5 1/2. And then what you need to do, so if you wanted to make a bigger card or a smaller card, you can always do it the same. Whatever your card size is, score it directly in half. And in this case, it's 5 1/2. And then you want to score the other piece in half, which in this case, half of 5 1/2 is 2 3/4. So I'm going to score it at 2 3/4. We don't need to do anything there, just on this side here. So that is all of our scoring. We can go ahead and burnish the lines there that we created with our scoreboard. Now, this would be our card fold in half. And then we have a mountain here. That's what's going to create the easel. So for right now, we can go ahead and set this piece aside. We do have some stamping to do for our flowers. And I am actually going to stamp these ones just to give a little more definition here. I need to clean my stamp off from last time. I am using Highland Heather. And I'm going to need 6 flowers, because every time that I do a flower, I am doubling them up. Okay, and while we're doing our stamping, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my little word on here, which this one I'm going to use Smile, and I'm using Early Espresso. That way whoever you give this card to can remember to smile every time they see your beautiful card that you made for them. And I just saw a comment, I believe Patricia said it, she has to get this leaf punch. I use this punch all the time. It just makes for a really good little filler. So then we just want to, again, take our medium daisy punch and punch these all out. I'm sorry if this is really loud. Just realized the punch is kind of loud, punching stuff out. There is another leaf punch, but I think I find myself using this one, and it actually coordinates. There is a stamp set that it coordinates with in the annual catalog. You could also sponge the edges if you wanted to get a little more texture to your card. You could do that. So again, we're gonna go ahead and take our bone folder and just quickly bring the edges up of all of our petals here. And then we'll glue them together just like we did on the other projects. And then I'll show you how to actually assemble the easel card. All right, we're done with that part. Let me grab my Tombow glue, and I'm going to glue 3 of them up right now so I can try to hurry it along a little bit. Also, I did forget to mention right now, Stampin' Up, while they're also doing the sign-on bonus, they're also doing, if you place at least a $50 order before shipping and tax, they're going to send you a coupon to use in August off any order that you want. You can't use it for a Paper Pumpkin subscription, but you might be able to use it if you purchase a Paper Pumpkin with an item number. Hopefully that makes sense. So that would be the only exception that you can't use it for. Okay, so I have my flowers. I'm going to set those aside. So now's a great time. They're giving you $5 for free to use next month. So that's awesome. I love couponing. I'm using the Everyday Label Punch. And I'm just going to punch that word smile out. And while I have that here, I'm going to grab my scrap paper. I did on my other one, I'm dropping everything. I stamped a couple of this other little flower here just to kind of decorate it up a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm getting out my Highland Heather ink again. And I'm just going to stamp a couple daisies, not over the words, just kind of around them. And now we're ready to assemble. So in addition to your cardstock, again, 4 1/4 by 11, we're going to score it 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. Then we're going to go ahead and fold it in half and burnish it. Burnish it on this half, and we're going to create a mountain like this with our card. Now we need a piece of Very Vanilla, and that is cut by 4 by 5 1/4. We also need a piece of designer paper, and this is from that designer paper I showed you earlier, and this is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. We need a piece of Mossy Meadow, cut at 2 1/4 by 4 1/4, and a piece of vanilla to fit in there, cut at 2 inches by 4 inches. And then this is a piece that we're going to put right here inside, just so that when they stand it up, they can see the designer paper continues. And that is cut at 4 inches by 4 inches. And then the only other thing that we need are a couple more of those leaves. And so I'll punch those real quick, and I'm using Pear Pizzazz for those. And I do want to just, And see, that's exactly what I told you not to do. I did it a little too hard. It's called Real TV. So now you can see what happens if you pull the petals or the leaves too hard, but that's okay. I could quickly punch another one. Okay, so now we're done with that. Let's go ahead and start assembling. So we can go ahead and just put some adhesive on the back here. This would be a really pretty back too, just the burlap, but I wanted to make this one so you could see the same one. So that one is all set. We're going to put this piece right on the inside right now. So go ahead and open up your card. Just leave a little border at the bottom and on the side. Okay, so now when we put this piece, well, actually, let's finish this. We're going to put this vanilla right on top of the Mossy Meadow to create our layering. And then we're just going to want to stagger our flowers. So again, I'm using the Tombow multi-purpose adhesive. And I just kind of staggered them a little bit and put it on there in a design that looked good to me. Now I want to put the leaves on here. Holding it down just so it dries. And then I have my last one. Now this piece, and we probably could have done this before, but that's okay. This piece is going to go on here, and I did keep it off to the left just a little bit. I didn't totally center it, so I'm going to push that down. Now when you put this piece on, you want to make sure to only put adhesive on this bottom part. So what I prefer to do, and of course you want to make sure and leave that 1/8 inch banner all the way around. So I'm just going to put my adhesive on, keeping in mind that I have the 1/8 inch banner all the way around. And now I can take this piece and leave my border at the bottom. Hopefully you're able to see that. This is what it's going to look like on the side. You have only put adhesive here, so there's going to be no adhesive on this top part. And then kind of lightly put it down. Make sure that you have a good border all the way around like you like. And then go ahead and push it down. Now your card will maybe need a little coaxing to stand up, but then once it stands up, it tends to fall down, and that's what this piece here is for. We're going to put some dimensionals on here so that it stays up, so when they open their card, it will keep that open. So I am going to put 4 dimensionals. I'm going to have to work on lighting, you guys. I don't know why I have such a shadow. If you could see my lighting, you'd be probably a little bit surprised that I have such a shadow here. So now you just want to decide how far up do you want this card to stand when it's on their desk. And so I'm going to put mine about there. And then that's where I'm going to put this little smile piece. So that's going to hold it right up. But when you mail it, you'll be able to fold it flat and it'll fit right in a regular envelope. The last thing that I want to do is, you can see I added some of those faceted gems right here in the center. Now we could color them, or we can just leave them the silvery color, and I think I'm just going to leave them the silvery color in this one. And that finishes it off with a sparkle. Now another tip that I want to tell you with mailing a card like this real quick, when you do have some kind of gems on your front of your card, like rhinestones or gems or something that might stick up a little bit, I have a postcard through Stampin' Up, but you really could use any kind of index card or cut a little scrap piece of cardstock. Now I've seen some people fold their cards inside out too, but I personally don't like to fold mine inside out. When they open it, I want them to be able to see it. So like I said, I use the Stampin' Up! Postcard. It's kind of a heavy cardstock weight, so if you could find some heavier cardstock, that would be good. But it's back to school time too, and so I know you'll be able to get these. This is the smaller index card, but the bigger one would fit over your whole card. So when you put it in the envelope, if you just put this in there, that's a little bit of a barrier against your envelope, so it's not going to tear through your envelope as easily. So that's what I try to do whenever I have any kind of embellishment on the front of my card, so that it doesn't tear through the envelope when it goes through the machines at the post office. So there are our 3 projects. I hope that you loved them and that you'll give me some love and share with your friends on Facebook so that they can see our projects too. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe and leave me a comment below and let me know which one of these projects is your favorite. Don't forget, visit my online store at stampitwithdebbie.stampinup.net. Use this host code and I'm going to send you these make and take projects for absolutely for free. So you'll get a little goodie project in the mail for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you more than you know. And I will see you again next week for another live demonstration with another fun product from the annual catalog. Thank you for stopping by and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.